Birleşik Krallık ve Almanya Tarihi Kensington Paktını imzaladı. Yeni bir dönem.
Visit, but thank you again for showing us the amazing work that you do here. This is one of the most cutting-edge facilities in Europe, home to the ExoMars rover, designed with German expertise and built right here in Stevenage. You are driving innovation in defence and space technology and making us all safer and leading us into the future. And this is the heart of what brings Friedrich and I together. We see the scale of the challenges our continent faces today, and we intend to meet them head on. But we also see the scale of the opportunities. So we have a shared resolve to shape this new era with new leadership. The UK and Germany side by side, delivering growth and security and delivering for working people. And that is why earlier today we did something genuinely unprecedented. Building on our new agreement with the EU, together we signed the Kensington Treaty, the first ever major bilateral treaty between the United Kingdom and Germany, two great modern European nations. It's an expression of our shared aims and values. But more than that, it's a practical work plan, setting out 17 major projects where we will come together to deliver real results which will improve people's lives. So a historic treaty, a statement of intent and ambition. And we intend to do, amongst other things, as leading NATO powers in Europe, committing not only to our mutual defence, but also to maximise the benefits of our defence spending in the shape of more jobs, more growth and more security. Under this treaty, we will bring our industries together to boost defence exports by billions of pounds, and will speed up collaboration on high-tech weapons and equipment, strengthening NATO and keeping our people safe. Our economic links already support 500,000 British jobs. So under this treaty, we will go further with e-gate access for frequent business travellers. I know that's something very popular here. A direct rail link and a new UK-Germany business forum to boost investment. Starting today with new investments in the UK worth over £200 million. We're also deepening collaboration on science and innovation, supporting great jobs like those here at Airbus. And we're delivering new infrastructure projects, including in the North Sea energy, to produce power that is cheaper, greener, and more secure. Crucially, we're also working together on illegal migration. And I want to thank Friedrich for his leadership on this, pledging decisive action to strengthen German law this year so that small boats being stored or transported in Germany could be seized, disrupting the route to the UK. And it's a clear sign that we mean business. We are coming after the criminal gangs in every way that we can. We also discussed the appalling situation in Gaza. We are both working to support efforts towards a ceasefire and also to demand the immediate unconditional release of the remaining hostages and the immediate unconditional humanitarian access that is so desperately needed to deliver aid at volume and at speed. Finally, we discussed the situation in Ukraine. Just a few days after Friedrich took office in May earlier this year, we were both in Kyiv, shoulder to shoulder with President Zelensky, during one of the toughest moments in this horrendous war. Now we're leading the work to get the best kit to Ukraine as fast as possible. We'll keep pushing this forward together with the US and other allies, because ultimately our security starts in Ukraine. So this is a partnership with a purpose. I think it illustrates what our work on the international stage is all about, building the foundations of stability across our continent that make us safer, boost our economy, and deliver change across for our people. It's about delivering results, and that's what we're working towards. And in a dangerous world, we do this together. So thank you, Friedrich, for your partnership and your friendship.
We're opening a new chapter in German-British relations today. In German-British relations, we respond together to the great new challenges of our time in which we live. Great Britain has, to my personal great and lasting regret, left the European Union. Russia is shaking the European security architecture, and the transatlantic relations are changing as we haven't seen in a long time. Under these new conditions, we want to secure the freedom, the security, and the prosperity of our two countries with the treaty we signed today. And that is the great agreement we have made together today. The Prime Minister and I signed the British-German Friendship Treaty today. We named it the Kensington Treaty. The reason is quite simple. We signed it at the Victoria and Albert Museum in the London district of Kensington. The location was chosen thoughtfully. The connection between Queen Victoria and her husband Prince Albert, who came from Germany, was lifelong and happy. This is also meant to be a good omen for our treaty. And this treaty is meant to shape our relations for many years and decades. Security is the common thread that runs through this treaty. We will jointly contribute to protecting and defending the Euro-Atlantic area. And ultimately, we ensure a military assistance in the event of an armed attack. We do this in accordance with our commitments in NATO. The treaty, however, is part of a larger context. We are connected with France as Germans by the Élysée Treaty. We renewed this contract in 2019, and it is called the Aachen Treaty. France and the United Kingdom are connected by the Lancaster House Treaties. These agreements are complementary. They complement each other. And that is why it is no coincidence that today, a week after the state visit of the French President Emmanuel Macron, I am visiting London. I will welcome Emmanuel Macron in Berlin next week. And in the fall, we will have the German-French hold a Council of Ministers in France. I mention this data because it shows that we, as the E3, as the three major European countries, the United Kingdom, France, and Germany, are coming together closely. In terms of security policy, migration policy, but also economic policy. To make this clear, this dynamic is never exclusive. Poland, Italy, and other member states of the European Union, other European countries, and even smaller partners are always on our minds. The new treaty is meant to change something out there in our reality. Therefore, today we agreed on an action plan with flagship projects. For example, in security and defense policy, we are building on the Trinity House Agreement from October 2024, which was just a few months ago. We are jointly developing conventional standoff weapons and unmanned systems for air, sea, and land. We are cooperating to better protect the North Sea against hybrid threats. We are working on the eastern flank of NATO. We are closely supporting Ukraine together. And here, at the Airbus plant in Stevenage, you can see how much innovative power is in our joint collaborations. In teamwork, space infrastructure is being developed and produced here also for the German and British armed forces. This strengthens our defense capability in Europe. But we are not only talking about security and defense. We are also talking about joint economic policy. What we have agreed upon will promote new growth. German and British companies are innovative and powerful. Together, you can leverage your strengths even better. In energy policy, we want to jointly seize the opportunities of future-oriented industrial cooperation. We will also strengthen the connections between people. An important example, and this has been particularly important to me personally, I say this in the presence of so many young trainees here at the company. We want to strengthen the mobility of children, young people, and students. Here, Brexit has become particularly painful. All the more, I am pleased that the United Kingdom is reintroducing so-called student collection lists. This makes visits from school classes uncomplicated, without a passport and without a visa. And today we are also setting the first tracks for a direct train connection between Germany and the United Kingdom. And finally, research, technology, and innovation are also on our agenda. We are setting new impulses, connecting our research excellence with scientific partnerships. For scientists and students, there will be more attractive conditions for stays in the United Kingdom. Yes, and finally, ladies and gentlemen, our meeting today was also an opportunity to once again discuss the situation in Ukraine. President Trump took an important initiative on Monday. The U.S. is ready to provide weapons to Ukraine, funded by European partners. Germany wants to make an important contribution. We need to discuss the details with our partners as soon as possible. Above all, we need clarity on how weapon systems provided by the USA will be replaced, that are provided from the European side. This increases the pressure on Putin to finally negotiate peace. And this shows that Europe and the USA are pulling in the same direction in security policy. I would like to conclude with some good news. Today is also a special day, because we are celebrating the birthday of Anita Lasker-Waldfisch. Anita Lasker-Waldfisch survived the horror of the Holocaust in the Girls' Orchestra of Auschwitz. For many years, she has tirelessly advocated for freedom, democracy, and humanity. Here in London, she is celebrating her 100th birthday today. Birthday. We not only warmly congratulate her, but we also thank her for her tireless work that she has done over the last decades to keep the memory of the horrors of the Holocaust alive and to continually remind us not to relent in friendship with our neighbors in Europe. Yes, and Keir, you said it is actually quite a surprise that there hasn't been such an initiative in the past decades, that there hasn't been a German-British friendship treaty. I would like to explicitly thank the previous government for taking this initiative and for doing the preparatory work that we in the current government have completed in a very short time, and that we finally have today to finally conclude such a treaty on friendship and cooperation between Great Britain, the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland and Germany in the year 2025 for the first time. This is truly a historic day, and I feel honored to be here today as the German Chancellor and with the British Prime Minister to sign this treaty. We do this not for ourselves, for both of us. We do this for our two countries, and above all, we do this for you. Also for you all, for the young generation, to whom we want to give a good perspective in this Europe that must continue to grow together, especially in Germany and in Great Britain. Thank you very much.